You said you wanted more sex on this podcast, so. Oh, Billy!
Well, we got some slow burns that have some big, exciting climaxes this week.
That's what she said.
We're talking movies. We're talking The Power of the Dog and The Last Duel. So, to us brothers, Romulus and Remus, and the wolf who raised us, Bronco Bill, El Ube.
Nothing prevents a woman from being loved by two men, or a man from being loved by two women.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of How'd You Like That Movie? We're into the fourth episode of our best of 2021, and we're still going head-to-head with films. I guess you could say that we're dueling, but it sure as heck won't be the last duel. Anyway, Scott, you did The Power of the Dog. Take us away.
I just want to know, like, how long did it take you to come up with that?
1 week.
You're like, the minute we got movies, you'd be like, I got... Now, this is actually going to tie into what I'm going to say. So going into this film, Power of the Dog, I wasn't well versed in the Jane Champion like filmography. I think I've only really seen two of her movies. One was In the Cut, and the other one was The Piano, which I think we had to watch for high school or something. So I couldn't really recall any of those plots either. And now with her new film, which I almost guarantee is going to be winning all the awards this year, it did two things that put a smile on my face, Kris. One of them is when the dialogue says the name of the movie, because just working in The Power of the Dog into a Western that doesn't really feature any dogs just puts a fucking smirk on my face.
Are you talking about the end when they read the psalm or whatever?
Yeah. It's just like it's where the title of the movie comes from. But
the whole movie, you're like, where the fuck is the dog? There are
like,
no dogs in this movie.
I thought this was gonna be like Lassie and fucking Cumberbatch was gonna like fall in the pit and some dog was gonna come. A song.
It's the power of the dog.
Oh, that's the third thing. Is when. That's the third thing is when there's a song of the movie title. The second thing is, even though this was a super fucking slow burn of a movie, it actually got me intrigued to see what would happen after the credits roll. Like what's the next chapter for these characters? I think it
there was an end of credit sequence.
No, like it's not a fucking Marvel movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I actually went and watched it too. I was like, holy shit, that there was this huge plot point that happened at the end of the credits that I just turned off, or what? What do you mean?
No, it's like it got me intrigued to see like these characters, like what the rest of after this movie ended, like what happened to Kristen Dunst's Rose and Cody McPhee's Peter.
I'm pretty sure this was a fictitious story.
Yes, but I'm saying I was what's the word, involved with these characters at the end, and
it's based on a book, right?
I think so. Yeah, like an old yes, by Thomas Savage. But so you watched this too then, right? You just
hold on. So you is there any more to that statement about?
No, I'm just I'll
you were
continue,
just like
just
super enthralled with these characters that you were like, I need more.
But I just want to, you said you watched it, right?
I did watch it.
Now, did you watch the trailer before watching this?
I would have watched the Netflix trailer.
Yeah, same
like, you know how it like auto plays or whatever?
Yeah, same here. And that trailer has nothing to do with this movie. Like it cuts that trailer like it's, like
a Western.
That and like Jesse, oh my God, I'm having a brain fart on his last name.
Is it Plinkman or Plunkman or Pullman or
Plemons?
Jesse Plemons. I hate that fucking guy anyway, so.
Hey, he was the lead actor of Judas and the Black Messiah.
A whole movie of a black activist, but he's the lead.
Well,
Anyway, go ahead. So
when the two lead actors are both nominated for best supporting, right?
Yeah,
that would only make him the lead, right?
How do you say that there's systemic racism without saying it?
But yeah, like the trailer made me think like this, like his character was like this like wife abuser and shit like that, and the son was going to Cumberbatch to make him a man and try to save his wife. At no point is that at all.
That doesn't happen at all. I mean, I guess one could argue there was some man making, but not in that context. So
yeah, like this, if I had to say this is like Brokeback before the mountain. They were just looking at the mountain the whole time, right? He was just looking at a mountain. He never actually got to go on.
It's so true. Right? They looked at that fucking mountain so much, and then they didn't get it. Their backs broken. So there was no actual breaking of backs made. There was no breaking of backs made. There was no breaking of backs in the making of this movie.
But there could have.
There could have been. I thought there was going to be. So, can I comment on this film for a bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
it's not our podcast without you taking over my movie.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Like I said, as I said in the kind of the lead up that we didn't record, it's the Kris show featuring Scott occasionally. So yeah, Jane Campion. She's got an Oscar win and a nod for The Piano, which I've never seen. I did see Holy Smoke, which she worked with Harvey Keitel again. He's in The Piano, obviously. The DOP is Ari Wagner. So you know what else Ari did? Fucking Zola.
Oh.
Boom! The DOP on Zola. And that fucking movie is tearing it up like the Independent Spirit Awards and the Gotham Awards. So I just want to throw that in there. Fucking hashtag fucking Zola.
I thought this was going to be a Kris Heritage minute.
A Zola Heritage minute. Strippers! So this won the Silver Lion for directing at the Venice Film Festival, and it came. And okay, I'm going to stick on that for a sec. So it won the Silver Lion for best directing. 3/4 of the way through this fucking movie, I'm like, what is fucking going on in this film? Like, and again, my definition of good directing is execution, right? Storytelling. The director is the storyteller. You can have great acting kind of here and there, and there's definitely some solid acting in this film. There's really great cinematography. But it does, until the last fucking like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, this thing does not hang together. Like the whole opening where like there's all the animosity between the brothers, like Cumberbatch is like, he's a dick, but like not in like the good kind of rugged way. I'm just like, just being a dick, like kind of the way I'm a dick. Like I'm just like an asshole.
Yeah,
sometimes just cause like
I'm just waiting for you to start calling me Fatso all the time.
Yeah,
hey,
Fatso. Like, what the fuck? Like what is going on here? Like,
and then they sleep together in the same room, which makes no sense to me either.
Yeah, it's and again, like, we find out, spoiler alert, Kirsten Dunst's character is like an alcoholic, but like she's just kind of like falling apart all the time in like crying, and you don't know why. And it doesn't like, again, she's at that like dinner party at the house and she's just like half fucking weepy. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? It's like, I don't know if something got left on the cutting room floor or whatever.
Well, like her story, like she didn't start off an alcoholic. She became one because the ranching life wasn't for her and she just didn't want to be alone. And then she had Jesse Plugman's on top of her half the time and she was like, fuck, I need some drinks.
Which is funny because that's her actual husband in real life. That's Kristen Dunst's actual husband.
Exactly. Like, listen, in a COVID world, when I'm working at home and my wife's working at home and we're constantly at home,
yeah,
right? You need
not
that
good for the relationship.
Yeah.
And Cumberbatch, I mean, he does a solid job. He's a solid actor. I'm sorry, I still don't take him as like tough guy, rancher guy. Like he never convinced me that he was like the tough guy. And you can like, I know he went all indie. He showed his pee-pee, so that's like very arty. Put mud on his body. Like the critics are loving this fucking film, and I'm like, why? Like, and I'm the like critic indie guy, and I'm like, yeah, it looks really pretty. There's some decent acting. It's not well directed. I don't know what the fuck I think because it deals with like closeted, gay subject matter and stuff, it's getting, and I know this is going to be a controversial statement, but like it's getting more props because of that. And it's like, you still got to direct a fucking story properly.
Well, I think in terms of the awards this season, he's going to win. And
whoa. I want to confirm. You're saying that he's going to win
best
the Oscar
actor
for best actor,
Yeah.
unless something comes out after.
I don't even think. I think it's more of like they're going to put it in for this movie. But if you just look at the body of work that he got released this year alone, right? You got The Manchurian, which he did amazing in.
He did.
The Courier, which he did amazing in. There's The Adventures of Lewis. I don't remember that one, amazing in. Then you got this one, and then like rounding out the year with Spider-Man, they're just going to be like 2021's the year of Cumberbatch, bitch.
We're bringing Cumberbatch. Woo! Did you like this movie?
No, not in the least. But
I thought this was going to be one of those ones where you came out and you were like, that is the best piece of cinema I ever fucking made. And I was going to have to be the guy on the other side being like, are you fucking stupid? Like, how did that happen?
See, the thing that I was saying before, like what got me intrigued with what would happen with the characters after was like, spoiler, like to me, what I saw was, yes, you saw the beginning of an alcoholic with Christian Dunst, and I'm pretty sure there's a scene there that kind of suggests a little bit of incest with her and her son too. Because
I don't know if incest, but more like overbearing mom or overly.
Well, there's the part where she's like super drunk and he's just standing there and she's like coming, like putting her arms around him, and he's like, no, not like this, no. Right?
Oh, I missed that part, so you must have been paying way more attention than I was. So,
but I also think with Cody Smith-McPhee,
he did a great job, by the way. Like his acting was great.
And I think his character was technically, you're literally watching the beginning of a serial killer.
What? No.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
100%.
He's gonna be a doctor. He's gonna be a surgeon.
He's gonna be a fucking serial killer. First, he's chopping up the bunny. Like he grabs the bunny.
Not chopping it up. He's fucking dissecting it and taking notes.
Yeah.
As a surgeon would.
How to fucking kill something. Right? Like, how do serial killers start? They start with rabbits.
Yeah, but they don't start like that in a meticulous fucking.
Well, in the fucking 1800s they did. Because then they can be like, I'm just
hold on. Okay, so he kills a rabbit and
kills Cumberbatch.
Yeah, you don't think that was deserving? That's not really serial killer ass.
No, it wasn't deserving. And I'm pretty sure he killed his father.
No, his father committed suicide.
No, he made it look like a suicide. Because when he's talking to Cumberbatch about his dad, he was like, yeah, my dad kept on saying how strong I was and how this, and Cumberbatch just starts making fun of him about it. Like, you strong. Okay. But like, you saw it in his face, like, yeah, I proved it. Right.
Yeah. All right.
I'm telling you right now, he was a serial killer.
I can disagree with you. That ending, and I don't want to talk too much about the ending. That ending's dope though, right? That was a cool ending.
Oh, the way they made it, like, super sexual. Like,
no, I just meant the way certain characters were dispatched. I don't know. I wasn't intrigued by the super sexual component. I just thought that the ending, the way they dealt with that, was kind of cool.
Well, but what I was saying, like, to me, I found it like everything was about like closeted stuff, right? Like, even when he's making that rope, it was like making sure it was tied, making sure he rubs it against his crotch and shit.
That's what I mean. I think that the critics are just like, oh, this is so powerful. And it's like, it felt a bit like overdone in that respect. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to go, this is 2 for 2 where I'm going to quote a wise man in terms of editing. But let me tell you, I could have gone for 5 minutes less of Cumberbatch with silk. Right? Just like, I don't understand why I watched 10 minutes of it. Like, just him rubbing a fucking silk shirt everywhere.
I feel like you could turn this movie on at about the last 45 minute mark, watch it from there, and it would make just as much sense as if you watch the whole fucking movie. Like,
Sure enough.
you're like, oh, these characters don't really like each other. Oh, and now there's an ending because all the lead up made fucking no real like storytelling like sense to it. It didn't create any continuity, didn't hang anything together. I was just like, yeah, I kept checking the time, not because it just felt long, but I wanted to be like, okay, so I wanted to know when the story started to make any really relevant sense, like the interactions between these characters. And I just
Yeah,
kept
it was
like,
to say
30 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. Okay.
yeah, I think I was I was like just clicking on my remote just and so to see like the time at the bottom, right? Like how much has elapsed, how most people are probably doing on our podcast right now. But but I and then I think it was like an hour and 20 minutes in. I still saw that there was an hour and something left. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, the kid just came to the ranch now. I'm like, where the fuck has this kid been this whole time?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I am not recommending anybody watch this movie except for the end. Seriously, like I'm literally being like, it's on Netflix. Go to the 30-minute mark or the last 30 minutes or the last 45 minutes. Watch it from there. You'll be good.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to be, well, us and well, with today's theme, this is what I was going to do for our intro, but I chose something else more sexy, like just looking at your eyes. But yeah, this film and The Last Duel, Barack Obama's top 10 list, right?
Fucking Barack Obama doesn't know fucking anything about fucking movies. Okay, he's got
doesn't he
Macbeth
have a
on- I don't
production
care-
company
Yeah, that's great.
fucking makes movies?
His production company makes movies. It doesn't mean that he knows fuck all about movies. He's got Macbeth on there. What is it? What's the actual title of the Macbeth film?
The Last Tragedy of Macbeth.
Yeah, which
Like,
hasn't even fucking come out yet. He's just
You-
like, oh,
you don't think
this
you don't
is a
think-
movie that should be on my list because I'm fucking Barack Obama. Fuck off, Barack.
listen, you don't think that, you know,
I don't walk or talk with Barack.
One, I'm pretty sure he is on the Academy to vote
How could he be on the Academy to vote?
because
already?
he has a fucking production company.
That's not the way the Academy is. But you got to be like in the industry for a while. You like it's a very small pool of people, considering how big. Like you don't just like start a production company and they're like, oh, here you go, vote on the Academy Awards.
No, I don't want to do this because I'm not 100% sure. But have you ever heard of a writer named Kurt Busiek?
No.
He writes comic books, very, very good comic books back in the 80s and 90s. He gets screeners for production companies to vote on the Academy. I don't know how he does it, but I follow him on Twitter and he takes the snapshots of the pictures like, oh, I just got this screener to vote on. I just got this one to watch. And I don't think he's ever written or made anything for a movie. I think he's just part of it.
We'll have to look into that. And moving on.
So Ramachan me all about The Last Duel.
Yeah. Look at you making the Kurosawa reference. Okay, so I complained about the House of Gucci. It's good to see that Ridley Scott can still fucking make it happen when he needs to. The Last Duel is fucking fantastic. It is great.
Are you saying that's why he's pissed off at millennials because they are liking the House of Gucci? And he's like, fuck, The Last Duel was the one. He's like, I brought Matt Fleck back.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's the first time they've worked on a film together since Good Will Hunting or whatever, right? So okay, I got Lee Greenblatt from Entertainment Weekly had this to say about The Last Duel. Scott, that's Ridley, not Vega. Scott manages to fill in the finer brushstrokes of all those characters and still fit in the kind of bravava action set pieces he's known for. The fight scenes are breathlessly, bone-crushingly beautiful. Or brutal, sorry. I also think they were brutally beautiful.
Are you sure he's not talking about me? Because that fucking sounds like a major description of me.
Man, just like
especially the bone-crushingly beautiful.
I mean, I would say that this is if you like took the movie Gladiator and Elizabeth, like the period, you know, the drama of a proper period piece, and Gladiator's like just fucking insane fight choreography. Because again, he has big like big set piece battles, and of course he has like the duel, and so he has like single combat. Oh, it's so good. Like I said, the fight scenes are fucking fantastic. I love how he gets in there with the camera and like you kind of feel like there's one scene where like Matt Damon has like chainmail like wrapped around his hands and he just like bludgeons some dude in the face. I was like, yeah. Like, and when the duel was happening, it was like, I remember there's a scene in Gladiator where Commodus is basically like bloodlusty, like just like, ah. And that's how I was like on the edge of my seat, just being like, fucking kill him, smash that fucking head in. So it was good. And
would you like more put this like in line of, I know you said Gladiator, but then would it be like more like a Kingdom of Heaven after?
No, because
or a G.I. Jane?
No, I understand you're throwing out other Scott films.
Maybe a Black Legend, maybe? Black Rain?
Okay, are you done?
No.
And the reason I didn't use Kingdom of Heaven is because Kingdom of Heaven doesn't do the fighting as well as Gladiator, and it doesn't do the drama as well. And I know he didn't direct Elizabeth, but like it's really well done. And I've heard, and I'm gonna sidebar in a sec here for a sec, because I heard there's actually a director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven that makes like a whole lot more sense. And my sidebar is, I got into a Twitter fight that Scott had to resolve with a bunch of fucking DC comic watching nerds that are still wanking off about 4-hour long fucking superhero movies. Guys, go the fuck outside, get some sunlight, fucking start watching real fucking cinema. Just because it's in fucking black and white doesn't make it fucking Schindler's List. So seriously, comic nerds, fuck off.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself,
Kris.
Anyway, back to the last duel.
Come on.
Seriously, those fucking people.
All you could have said was like, I'm gonna teach you something quickly. A sidebar as well. It's called Sales 101. All you had to say was, if you want my thoughts on that movie, just go back and listen to our episode of Justice League.
Then they all go and like listen to it and then be like, man.
Like, why are they going to go back and listen to it now when you just literally just did your synopsis in 5 seconds?
This is true. This is true. Did you watch The Last Duel?
No, I was gonna watch it this weekend, but I got super fucking busy because my daughter just turned 16, so we're planning her surprise party and shit.
Well, it won't be a surprise because she's gonna listen to this podcast and be like, "Yo."
It also happened yesterday, which was a week from when this thing got released. So I think she knows now, but
and she knows when her birthday is, so she figures it's gonna be roughly. What you do is you just throw her birthday party like 3 months away from her birthday. Be like, bam, surprise.
But yeah, I'm actually gonna watch it tonight after football. I'm gonna watch it because I am interested in it, and it is like, I do like Rashomon films where you just see the point of view of each character. And I think if they presented this movie like that, I think it would have gotten more play as well, right?
So that's interesting you bring that up, because I was talking to my friend Michelle about this, and I was like, I don't understand like why, more people didn't want to go out and see it. And I'm going to talk about the quote about the Millennials thing, but I'm talking like people my age and above. And she's like, because they didn't advertise it the way it actually is. They basically made it like
a Me Too.
Man versus man to save woman. And like, if now that I've seen it, I just like recently watched the trailer. They kind of talk. I mean, the trailer looks really cool. But from a female standpoint, like she was saying, they didn't put it up as like 3 versions of events. It was sort of like man defends honor of woman. And she's like, yeah, I've seen that fucking story. I don't need to go watch it again. So you just like 50% of the population you just didn't really sell to. You know what I mean?
Well, I think even in the trailer, and I haven't watched the trailer since this thing came out, but Jane, it's not Jane. Who's
Jodie Comer?
Yeah, Jodie Comer. It makes her seem like she invited fucking Driver in, and Affleck, or not Affleck, Damon found out, and he was like, well, you're lying, and you know what happens when you lie. Now I'm going to die.
Enjoy your time in Paris, Sir Jean.
Kind of thing, right? It was just like,
and that's what my friend Michelle said. She says it just very much felt like damsel in distress, or man comes and saves honor of woman. And that's not the film. the film is, like you said, it's 3 versions of events, and it's awesome to see, like, when you see it from like Matt Damon's, like Matt Damon is basically like the hero in his own story, and then you see a different version, and then her version is supposed to also be like the truth. It's not just her version; they even say like the truth, and so you see that like he's like kind of a fucking thug, like he's a fucking like Neanderthal, and she's just kind of going along to get along. You know, she's like, yeah, that dude's like attractive, but like I don't trust him, and he's fucking keeps fucking hitting on me, kind of thing, yada yada yada. Like her version of events is much more like level, and yeah, both the 2 dudes are just, again, like the heroes in their own fucking story. But Matt Damon's more so than anything. Like he's like a war hero, and he's like defending honor, and it's just like, and then to see the truth, you're just like, fuck, Matt. Jesus, man, like you're not good at anything. Like you just like, even like his sex scenes with her, he's just like, It was really well done.
So you said like what most of your Tinder people feel right after.
That's 100% what they're
you're
thinking.
Like they're scrolling through your profile, and you're like, holy fuck, this guy looks amazing. Movie producer, fucking podcaster, actor, fuck, nominated for shit.
This guy fucks.
And then they get on there.
No,
you're like,
not so great.
Fuck.
So Adam Driver does a great job. Matt Damon does. I mean, I really don't like Ben Affleck, so I have trouble seeing his acting as being good, but it's fine. Both him and Matt Damon worked on the screenplay with Nicole. I'm gonna fuck this name up. Nicole Holfenser. So it was really good that they brought in a female screenwriter to work on the female character as well, just so that voice is more authentic. Now, and Jodie Comer does a great job in her role as well.
In terms of Driver, does he get nominated for this one or Gucci?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say Gucci, just because the acting is like, there's more transformation in Gucci. He's just playing basically like again, he's a solid actor. And this is the other thing too. It's like, just because I'm not suggesting that everybody gets an Oscar doesn't mean they did a bad job, but they're A-list actors. You would expect that they show up and are fucking confident. I think his role because he's playing like a real person that was alive like recently, not some old timey person. I think it was a tougher challenge. The accent thing might fuck it up, but his accent wasn't as bad as Lady Gaga's. And I do actually that's actually a good segue into something I want to talk about. So here you have 2 Ridley Scott films. One takes place in France. One basically takes place in Italy. And in the one that takes place in France, like they aren't putting on fake French accents. They're basically just talking fairly normally. And so you don't get taken out of the story by Matt Damon trying to be like, hello, I am Matt Damon and I am going to make the duel with you. Like, no, they're just talking like normal. I mean, they make it kind of old timey with the like, oh,
wait,
hello.
Before you continue, because I haven't seen it yet, but is there a scene where they have a glove and slap somebody's face with it?
The face there is a glove, but it does not slap a face.
That's
maybe it slaps something.
Bullshit.
Yeah, but there is a glove.
And but
it does come off.
Is it Damon on Driver or Driver on Damon?
I'm not gonna tell you, man.
Did they get Brokeback? is that the twist ending?
I can't disclose any of that information. But yeah, like, and because he doesn't like, and it's weird to think that, like, I don't know why when he went and did House of Gucci, he's like, hey guys, have free range and have stupid fucking accents, like fake accents, and some of them sounding almost like Russian. So yeah, I highly recommend The Last Duel. But this is what Scott said about Millennials.
Wait, now confirm this isn't me saying it about Millennials.
Okay, Ridley Scott.
Because I will say fuck Millennials.
Okay, so first off, it's got an 85% from critics, it's got an 81 from the audience, but it was made for $100 million and it's made like 31 million at the box office. So hopefully it's making it back up on like streaming or whatever. So it doesn't do well at the box office, and this is what Scott had to say. I think what it boils down to is what we've got today are the audience who are brought up on these fucking cell phones. The millennials, they don't want to be taught anything unless they're told it on a cell phone. Like, so he just basically blames young people for not wanting to go to his movie. I just don't think that this was the kind of movie. We're still too. I mean, I was going to say early into the pandemic, but like we're still so into this pandemic that like if it's not like a big like must see in the theater movie, people are still not going to the fucking movie theater. So I think he just said.
Well, I think also to contradict what you're saying, because you're wrong. Oh shit! Oh shit! In terms of going to the theaters, especially in the pandemic, you want to go for something that's uplifting, that's fucking gonna make you feel better after, right? You don't want to go and technically watch, you know, a rape in the theaters.
So, whoa. You're telling me going to watch Dune is going to make you feel happy and uplifted? That's a fucking sad sack film too. It's all depressing, especially the first one.
How did that do in the box office?
It did not do well.
Okay. But Free Guy, which is super uplifting, destroyed the box office.
Well, and isn't the new Spider-Man just like fucking rocking and rolling?
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's what, two? It'll be 2 weeks technically. My prediction: it's gonna be in theaters 2 weeks before the end of 2021, and it's gonna be the #1 movie box office gross. Right?
It's definitely not gonna be West Side Story. Sorry,
no.
Steven. Sorry.
No, but that movie, West Side's gonna get nominated a shit ton too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, and that shows sometimes how like the Academy can be like way off base with like audience, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just how it is, right? So
yeah, I think you're right. Driver will get Gucci, but I think Scott will get For the Last Duel.
Yep. I can see him get a nomination. I don't think he'll win, but I think he'll get a nomination for sure.
No, it's going to be Jane. It's going to be Power of the Dog's going to win.
Yeah, I think I unfortunately I tend to agree with you that Power of the Dog is going to like sweep all the awards, and it's going to be another one of those movies you're like, how the fuck did that win all those awards?
Yeah.
Best key grip in a supporting role.
Fucking Jesse Plemons.
Yeah, like I said, I highly recommend go see The Last Duel. It's fine, like you can watch it at home. If you had been able to watch it in the theater, it would have been fine, but like I said, watching it at home is great. I think it's already like $6 or something like that. Like I didn't pay
to rent.
30,
Yeah, to rent it's like $7. That's why I have it queued up for today.
Yeah, watch it, man. Check it out. I'm gonna tweet about it after Scott watches it, just to see like what his opinion is and stuff. So yeah, unless you got anything else, or unless our producer has anything.
Just watch all I gotta say is watch your fucking tweets, because daddy doesn't need to come in and save your day all the time, right? Like sometimes just because you guys disagree doesn't mean you have to start fighting saying I'm right, you're wrong. Sometimes it's okay to just say let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, let's not do that. Anyway, that's all for me. Go watch The Last Duel. Watch the last 30 minutes of The Power of the Dog, because it's the power of the dog.
But you just did like a nice little Dirk Diggler there. Like, you got the power. Oh, no, you got the touch. Sing it.
You got the touch.
And that is our wrap for the day. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends. If you want to get a hold of us, reach us at the www.howdyoulikethatmovie.com.
I used to have a shirt that said I am Dirk Diggler, which is probably surprising to no one.
I was going to say, and then everybody realized it was false advertisement and then just sent you, it went missing. Shouldn't you tell people what it says? Because it is an audio podcast as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unless you're watching the picture from the movie Rush, one of my favorite movies, I am wearing a red shirt with the emblazed with the logo of James Hunt that says sex. Breakfast of Champions. That's it. That's all I got, man.
Hold on. I'm going to go get a silk shirt and I'm just going to start rubbing it on my face.
Production by Rod Shaver, Vader Monkey Productions.